Okay, we've not done a video for a little while, so I thought I'd do a bit of a video update for the YouTube channel. I did set up this one on Instagram Live because I could, but I want to be using the YouTube channel more going forward. I've got some ideas for it. I'd like it to become a bit of a showcase for skaters in the local area, up and coming skaters who probably, as they move forward, there's some recognition, and hopefully having a central YouTube channel for the area will help them do that. But we'll discuss that on a different video where you'll actually be face to face with me later on, where I sort of introduce the intentions of the channel and what the plan is going forward, and yeah, we'll go from there. But for today's video, we have a blank that I've been riding for a couple of weeks now. It's not been used too much because I'm trying to fit skating around other stuff, real life stuff, but I've had a good few hours out on it now, and come to some conclusions. Normally I don't skate blanks. I buy company products. I like to support pros, but I thought that I'll give a couple of these blanks a go and see what they're like. I was curious as much as anything, and also this was a £30 blank deck, as opposed to a 40, 50, 60 pounds pro deck. And I was just curious as to how much that really made a difference in skating for me. So this is a Route 1 OG shape, mini logo. The mini logo would be under here normally, but obviously I've got a sticker over it. And as I said, I've had it a couple of weeks and I've skated on it probably about 10 hours, 8-10 hours total. So we're getting a little bit of wear on the tail. I did find the tail wore through to that second ply rather quickly. When the nose isn't wearing, which is unusual because I usually do quite a bit off my nose, but it doesn't seem to be wearing as much. My first impressions of the board were that it was really nice. Actually, the finish on the bottom ply was really nice. I do like the green stain. One thing I didn't like about it was the top ply. Excuse the cat sneezing over there. The top ply is actually not stained. It's natural wood colour, and I don't like that. It makes the deck feel and look cheaper, in my opinion, and it just puts me off when I look down and it's a natural colour top. Some people might like that. I don't personally. I also not particularly keen on the lack of coloured vertical ply down the centre. I think that's another thing that also just makes the deck seem cheaper when it has no coloured ply down the centre. However, the primitive 8-inch that I was skating before this was an expensive deck, and that also didn't have a coloured ply down the middle, so there we go. This is an 8-inch deck. The last couple of decks I've skated have been an 8-inch. I've gone from 7.75 to 8. The primitive I had before this was about an inch longer. This is actually quite short for an 8-inch deck. So this one is just under 31.5 long, and the primitive I was riding was actually really long for an 8-inch, so it was well over 32 inches long. It is 8 inches across in the middle, and it doesn't taper until it gets past the back truck. The one thing I really do like about this deck is the shape. I was saying to somebody the other day that if I had my way, I would skate this shape for some good time. Like, I would keep with this shape. I like the slight taper. I do not like the new full round shapes or full popsicle shapes that people are going for nowadays. I do like a taper on my nose, and especially on my tail. This one does taper a little bit. Again, this is the OG shape, as Route 1 call it, so maybe that makes a difference. So the shape is really nice. The kicks are actually quite steep, despite the report saying it has a mellow concave. It's actually got very steep up here, concave, and the kicks are actually reasonably steep without being overly steep. I would call it a medium kick, with a medium to high concave, and that has worked for me really, really well. I love the length, I love the width, I love the shape of the kicks, and I love the concave. What I don't like is that the wood kind of feels soft. It might just be a perception, but I swear it feels softer. I like the fact that it was light. This is 100 grams lighter than my primitive deck. Part of that is probably down to the inch length that I'm missing off this, and also down to the slightly narrower kicks. But I think part of that might actually be the fact that it's just the wood quality isn't quite as good. In the second or third hour of skating, I actually got a delam in the tail, about just over ½ an inch across, and it did start to pop out. I did the quick tarmac sanding. I bashed it back in and then sanded it on the tarmac, and it stayed in for the last week or so, but you can still tell it's ready to come out, but hasn't come out yet. It is starting to feel like it's flattening out a little bit. So it had quite a lot of pop when I first got it, and I was really surprised just how poppy it felt, and I was able to quickly pop, which is something that I've struggled with after relearning this year, is getting quick pops in succession. So that was really good, but I do feel it's starting to flatten out a little bit now. It's starting to soften up. As a result, I probably won't skate it that much longer because I don't have to. I'm in a position where I can change boards quite regularly, and I like to. So I'll pass this on to one of the other lads that can make use out of it. I do like to pass equipment down when I stop using it, because I use it and it's still really fresh, so it's good for someone else to get used out of it. But I do have little conditions, as in I'll only give kit to someone I know is actually going to properly put it to use, and it's not just going to sit in the corner of the room. So I will pass this deck down. It'll go to somebody else who isn't working and can't afford to buy decks all the time. And I know I've got a couple of people in mind. I know that they need a new deck and they skate 8-inch, so this will go to one of them, whoever's around at the time when I change decks will be fortunate enough to get it if they want it. I'm still skating mob grip, so it's mob grip on this. However, the mob grip that got sent was actually folded in a couple of places, and so I was really funny about that when I first got it, because it didn't lie completely flat. You might see a small cut there that I've put in to get rid of the fold that they put in at the retailer, which is not very handy. But yeah, so this is an update. I think if, to sum it up, if this wood was a little bit stiffer, I would skate these all the time. Honestly, the shape and the concave is absolutely perfect for me. I just can't figure that wood. It just feels a little bit soft, a little bit cheap. I don't know, it's price point board, it's £30. So that's to be forgiven. And I think if you were younger and lighter than I am, I don't think it would be so much of a problem. But being that little bit older and certainly a little bit heavier, every bit of pop I can get really does help. So I don't know if I'd go for another one, unless they changed wood or started top staining, just so I can get a feel of it being a little bit more quality. But that said, it has got good pop. It slides well, actually. I was relearning tail slides, and it does slide well. Obviously I've got a sticker on there, but most of the weight was actually on the corners of the tail, so it has slid well. And it's been a very light board, which I like. I like a light setup. I don't need the extra weight these days. It just time for a change, I think. So I will, as I said, do a bigger video soon, and the bigger video will be discussing where we're going with the channel going forwards. Yeah, we'll go from there. So thank you for your time, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Please do start to like and share the channel around. I do intend on making it so that skaters in the West Mercia area can use this as a bit of a showcase. So obviously the more people that share these around and get more people watching. I know there's not a lot of content at the moment, but that will hopefully change very soon. Thank you and goodbye.